Hello, children. I hope you all are doing good. And today I'm here with a drama named If I Were You. It is written by Douglas James. If I Were You is an interesting story that has mystery, suspense, surprise, and humor. We can look at the two main characters in our drama. First one is Gerard. He is the protagonist or the main character of our story. He is a playwright. Playwright means a person who writes dramas. The next character is an intruder. Intruder means a person who enters to a place without being invited. So these two are the main characters in our drama. Gerard lives alone in a lonely cottage. An intruder who is a criminal enters Gerard's cottage. He intends or plans to murder Gerard and take on his identity. Take on his identity means live by taking the identity of Gerard. That means our intruder is almost alike or looks exactly like Gerard. So he thought that if he kills Gerard, he can live in Gerard's house as Gerard. Does he succeed? We can look. And here starts our drama. Scene. A small cottage interior. There is an entrance back right which may be curtained. Another door to the left must be a practical door. The furniture is simple, consisting of a small table towards the left, a chair or two, and a divan rather upstage on the right. On the table is a telephone. When the curtain rises, Gerard is standing by the table making a phone call. He is of medium height and wearing horn-rimmed spectacles or glasses. He is dressed in a lounge suit and a great coat. His voice is cultured. So, our drama is set in a small cottage. It happens in a small cottage. The room has an entrance, that means a door on the right hand side with a curtain on it. There is another door to the left side of the room. So, at the right and left, there are two doors which is in use. That means the left door is only being used. The room has simple furniture. That means a small table to the left, a chair or two, and a small bed on the right side of the room, a divan. Okay, then on the table, a telephone is kept. As the curtain on the stage is rolled up, Gerard is found standing by the table making a phone call. So, when the drama starts, we can see the main character Gerard on the stage, and what he does, he is making a phone call. And how he looks, he is of medium height and is wearing spectacles, horn-rimmed spectacles. Okay, rimmed means framed, horn-framed spectacles. Then, he is wearing a lounge suit and a great coat. His voice indicates that he is cultured and well educated. So, this is how our drama starts. And we can hear what Gerard says. Gerard: well, tell him to phone up directly. I must know. Yes, I expect I'll still be here, but you mustn't count on that. In about 10 minutes' time. Righto, goodbye. So, by saying this, he puts down the phone and goes to the divan on the left, where there is a travelling bag, and starts packing. Whilst he is thus engaged, another man, similar in build to Gerard, enters from the right silently, revolver in hand. He is flashily dressed in an overcoat and a soft hat. He bumps accidentally against the table, and at the sound, Gerard turns quickly. So, here Gerard is speaking on the phone. He says that the person should call him directly. To someone, he says that he should call Gerard directly, and he would reach in 10 minutes, and says goodbye and puts the receiver back on the phone. and he goes to the divan. We said that there's a divan there. So he goes near the divan, and what he does, he starts packing the stuff in a traveling bag. So he's getting ready to go somewhere. So he's doing the packing. A traveling bag is there, and he's doing the packing. While he is busy packing, what happens? Another man who is similar to Gerard, who looks similar to Gerard, enters the room silently from the right side. We said that there are two doors at both the sides, at left and right, isn't it? Through the right door, a person who looks similar to Gerard enters there. Okay, then he has a gun in one hand, and he is dressed in bright colored dress. How it is, an overcoat is there, and a soft hat is also there. Okay, but accidentally he bumps into the table, and Gerard turns around the sound. By hearing that bumping sound, Gerard looks at that man. Okay, bumps means accidentally been touched or strikes. Then Gerard pleasantly, why there's a surprise, Mr. By seeing that intruder, Gerard doesn't get shocked. Instead of that, naturally he asked. Gerard speaks very pleasantly, very happily, or very normally to the stranger, and he says that he is surprised to see this man, see him and call him Mr. Because Gerard doesn't know his name. Okay, Mr. Intruder. I'm glad you are pleased to see me. I don't think you'll be pleased for long. Put those paws up. So this intruder means a person. We already told, a person who intrudes, especially into a building with criminal intent. Okay, so with a person who enters to a particular place without being invited can be generally called as an intruder. But here, in order to do some criminal acts, some person may enter a particular place, isn't it? So such kind of people can also be called as intruders. So here this intruder says that he is glad, he is also happy to see Gerard. Gerard at first said that, oh, I am surprised to see you. And in the same way, this intruder says that he is also happy to see Gerard. And he adds that Gerard won't be happy for much time. If he knows why this intruder came there, why he came there, by knowing that Gerard won't be happy for much time. And what also is being said by the intruder, he said to Gerard to raise his hands. Look at that lines. Put those paws up. That means hands up. Gerard. This is all very melodramatic. Not very original, perhaps. But melodramatic means excessive emotions that are required for the situation. So why you give this much of emotions for saying this? If you want me to say raise my hands, you can just say. Don't give this much emotions. You are very much melodramatic. You are not at all original. Please do it. Intruder trying to be calm, and intruder says that he is trying to be calm, and he is short of words. That means he can't complete the sentence. Trying to be calm. Are you trying to make me calm? This intruder is asking Gerard. Gerard, nonchalant is your word, I think. Nonchalant means not showing anxiety, interest, or enthusiasm. So you can use the word nonchalant. Gerard is saying, Gerard adds that he wants to say that he is trying to be calm and nonchalant, that is not to show anxiety or enthusiasm. So you must notice the fact that by seeing a stranger inside his room, all of a sudden, Gerard is not being shocked, or he is not showing out his emotions on his face. Okay, so by seeing this figure, or by seeing this insensitive nature of Gerard, this intruder really became surprised. Okay. Next, intruder. Thanks a lot. You'll soon stop being smart. I'll make you growl. I want to know a few things. See? So this intruder is becoming upset of seeing this Gerard's nature, and he's saying thanks to make him understand. Nonchalant is the apt word to say there. Okay. And intruder is saying thanks, and he's also adding that you will never be smart like this for much time. To Gerard, he says, okay, and I'll make you growl. I want to know a few things from you. After that, I'll do it. Gerard, anything you like. I know all the answers. But before we begin, I should like to change my position. You may be comfortable, but I am not. So Gerard is saying, you can ask me anything. I know answers for every questions, but I'm ready to answer. But I can't stand like this for much time. I just want to change my position. You may be comfortable standing like that, but I'm not that much comfortable. Intruder, sit down there and no funny business. Motions to a chair and seats himself on the divan by the back. Now then, we'll have a nice little talk about yourself. So this intruder is saying, oh yes, you can sit, but no funny business, no other funny things should be done. By saying this, he moves near the chair and seats himself on the divan near the back. And he sits near that back. And what he says, now we'll have a nice little talk about yourself. Tell me about yourself. This intruder is asking to Gerard. Gerard, at last a sympathetic audience. I'll tell you the story of my life. How as a child I was stolen by the gypsies, and why at the age of 32 I find myself in my lonely Essex cottage. How? So by hearing the words of intruder, when the intruder asked Gerard to talk about himself, Gerard really acts that, oh, he became happy. And he says, oh, at last I got some sympathetic audience. I got some audience to hear my story. I'm going to tell my story of life. How as a child I was being stolen by the gypsies. Gypsies means nomads, nomadic people. Once as a child, Gerard is being stolen by the gypsies. And why at the age of 32 I find myself in my lonely Essex cottage. And why I live in this cottage alone at this age of 32. I want to say all these stories to you. Essex means a historical region of southeast England. So at last I got a sympathetic audience, a person who has sympathy towards me to hear my complete life story. I'm ready to tell my story. Who says? Gerard. Okay. Then intruder, keep it to yourself and just answer my questions. You live here alone? Well, do you? So when Gerard said that I'm ready to say my complete life story, this intruder became so angry and he says, keep it to yourself. I don't want to hear your complete life story. I just want to get answers for my questions. And he is asking the first question. You live here alone? Do you live here alone? That's the first question he asked. Gerard, I'm sorry. I thought you were telling me, not asking me. A question of inflection. Your voice is unfamiliar. Inflection means a change in the modulation of voice. So really this intruder became so angry when Gerard said that he'll say his complete life story. So his voice also changed. His anger is being reflected in his voice. Okay, so this Gerard is saying, you are not asking me, you are telling me. Okay, and your voice also has changed. It became unfamiliar for me. Intruder with emphasis. Do you live here alone? So intruder is getting angry again and he repeated the same. Gerard, and if I don't answer? So here Gerard is also getting a bit angry and he's asking to this intruder, what will you do if I'm not giving you a correct answer? Intruder said, you have got enough sense not to want to get hurt. So this intruder is warning Gerard. He warned Gerard that if he did not want to get hurt, he should obey his orders. Okay, that means if you are not answering, I'll do some harm on you. This intruder said to Gerard. Gerard, I think good sense is shown more in the ability to avoid pain than in the mere desire to do so. What do you think, Mr. So here we can see Gerard speaking very intelligently. Okay, his good sense is reflected in his ability to avoid pain than the mere desire to avoid it. He asked the intruder about his opinion and addressed him as Mr. to indicate that he wanted to know his name. Okay, What's the meaning of this line? Once again, I will explain. I think good sense is shown more in the ability to avoid pain than in the mere desire to do so. So, if we have good sense, we should show our good sense by not causing pain to ourselves. Okay, that means we should have that capacity, ability to not to get pained. Okay, not to get hurt ourselves. Before thinking of hurting others, we should have that ability to protect ourselves. Okay, then intruder. Never mind my name. I like yours better, Mr. Gerard. What are your Christian names? So this intruder is saying that you need not think about my name. You should not think much about my name. And I like or I know your name, Mr. Gerard. I know that your name is Mr. Gerard. And he's asking, what's your Christian name? Christian name is the name he was given when he was baptized in the church. Particular names will be given to children, and he wants to know that complete name of Gerard. Gerard is saying that. Look at the next. Vincent Charles. So what's the complete name of Gerard? Vincent Charles Gerard. Intruder. Next question. Do you run a car? Gerard. No. Intruder. That's a lie. You are not dealing with a fool. I am as smart as you and smarter. And I know you run a car. Better be careful, wise guy. So this intruder already know some details about Gerard. Anyway, he was just confirming it. Okay, and he knows it already that Gerard has a car. And when Gerard said that he doesn't have a car, this intruder is saying that he is telling lie. Don't think that I am a fool to believe all the lies you are saying, you are telling. And he is adding that he is smart and smarter than Gerard. And he is warning Gerard to be careful. Okay, Gerard, are you American? Oh, is that merely a clever imitation? Gerard is asking to this intruder if he was really an American, or he is just acting like an American by speaking in an American accent, American slang. Intruder, listen, this gun is no toy. I can hurt you without killing you and still get my answers. So by hearing these questions which have been asked by Gerard, this intruder is getting a bit angry, and he is saying that this gun is not a toy. The gun which he has in his hand is not a toy. He can kill Gerard, he could harm Gerard and still would get a reply to his question without being killed. Gerard can answer, or Gerard should answer the questions he asks, intruder asks. Okay, then Gerard, of course, if you put it like that, I'll be glad to assist you. I do possess a car, and it's in the garage around the corner. So Gerard showed that he is showing that he has got scared, and he said that, oh, I'm happy to answer all your questions. And he's saying that, yes, I have a car, and it's in the garage at the corner of that road. Intruder, that's better. Do people often come out here? That's the next question he asked. Okay, and anyone will come here? That Gerard, very rarely. Surprisingly, few people take the trouble to visit me. There's a baker and the greengrocer, of course, and then there's a milkman, quite charming, but no one so interesting as yourself. So here Gerard is saying that rarely, only a few visitors come there. And who are those? Who are those people? A baker, greengrocer, and a milkman. Nobody else had troubled to come there. But no one like this intruder, who is very interesting person. This intruder is very interesting. Gerard is saying, nobody like you will come here. Intruder, I happen to know that you never see tradespeople. Tradespeople means business people. Okay, I think that you won't be meeting any businessman. Gerard, you seem to have taken a considerable amount of trouble. Since you know so much about me, won't you say something about yourself? You have been so modest. So you might have noticed that from the starting itself, this man is saying all the details about Gerard. Already he knows some details about Gerard, and he's saying all those that he knows Gerard very well. He knows all those things, but just to confirm, he's asking some questions to Gerard. Okay, by understanding all this, Gerard is saying that, oh, I am so much happy to understand that you took much trouble to understand about me. And I just want to know something about you. Don't be this much modest. Don't be this much simple and humble. You can talk about yourself. It is always said that humble people, simple people won't be talking much about themselves. So don't be this much humble. You can say about yourself. I'm ready to hear it. Gerard said to the intruder. Intruder. I could tell you plenty. You think you are smart, but I am the top of the class round here. I have got brains and I use them. That's how I've got what I have. So intruder is saying, I have plenty of things to say you, and you think you are smart, but I am the top of the class round here. That means I am the best person in this area. Don't think you are the smartest. And one more thing, I have got brains and I use them. You have brains, but you don't use it. Okay, so this intruder is saying all these to Gerard. This is how I have got what I have. So as I have brains and as I am using it, I reached the place where I am now. Gerard. And where precisely have you got? It didn't require a great brain to break into my little cottage. So this Gerard became confused. What you're telling? It is were you reached precisely correctly? I don't think that you need much brain or much intelligence to enter my cottage. It's not an intelligent act, Gerard said. Intruder. When you know why I have broken into your little cottage, you'll be surprised, and it won't be a pleasant surprise. Okay, so this intruder said that the reason for his entering Gerard's cottage would shock Gerard. You'll get surprised, and that surprise won't be a pleasant surprise for you. Then Gerard. With you figuring so largely in it, that is understandable. By the way, what particular line of crime do you embrace? Or aren't you a specialist? Embrace means accept. Gerard said that this intruder's behavior, he knew that his reason for entering his house would be shocking. I can understand that it's a shocking thing, but by the way, he wants to know in which area this intruder or this criminal is specialized in. Which area he's specialized in. Okay. Then intruder. My specialty is jewelry robbery. Your car will do me a treat. It's certainly a dandy bus. Dandy bus means stylish. So this intruder replied that he is specialized in jewelry robberies, and he said that Gerard's car would be an apt vehicle for him, as it is a stylish one. That's why he inquired about Gerard's car. Gerard, I'm afraid jewels are few and far between in the wilds of Essex. Few and far means rare. Okay, so he says that jewels are not much found in this area. In the wilds means remote area. This Gerard is living in a very remote area of the place Essex. So he says there are no much jewelries found at this area. Then intruder. So are the cops. I can retire here nicely for a little while. This intruder said that just like jewels, cops, that means police, are also very rare in this area. That's why I selected this place. I can live here very peacefully for a little while, for a few days. That's why I selected this place. I know that there are no much jewelries at this place, like that there are no police or cops also at this place. That's why I selected this house. Gerard, you mean to live with me? A trifle sudden, isn't it? You have not been invited. So Gerard is asking the intruder that if does he want to live along with Gerard? He said that the decision is all of a sudden, and he had not invited this intruder to live with him. Intruder. You won't be here long, so I didn't trouble to ask. This intruder said that you won't be living here for much time. So that's why I didn't ask you. Gerard, what do you mean? Intruder. That's your big surprise. I am going to kill you. That's a big surprise for you. What's a big surprise? I am going to kill you. This intruder is going to kill Gerard. Okay, Gerard. A little harsh, isn't it? So, as Gerard is saying, it's a harsh thing. It's a bad thing. Intruder with heavy sarcasm. Yeah, I'll be sorry to do it. I've taken a fancy to you, but it's just got to be done. Very sarcastically, this intruder is saying that I know that I'll be sorry to do that because I started liking you. I developed that means a kind of sympathy or love started forming in my mind towards you, but I should do it. Gerard. Why add murder to your other crimes? It's a grave step you are taking. So you are already a criminal. Why this killing? You are adding one more crime to all your series of crimes. Why you do it is too serious. Intruder. I'm not taking it for fun. I've been hunted long enough. I'm wanted for murder already, and they can't hang me twice. So this intruder said that he was being chased by the police as he had already murdered a person. If he would kill another person, the punishment would still remain the same, isn't it? The police or the law cannot hang him twice. Okay, so what he says, even if he kills Gerard, or even if he kills 1 or 2 or 3 or 4%, the maximum punishment he would get will be hanging to death, isn't it? Even if he is killing 1 person or 2 person, the punishment will be the same. They can't hang me twice, 2 times. Gerard, you're planning a gratuitous double, so to speak. Admitted you have nothing to lose, but what have to gain? Gratuitous double means done without a reason. Gerard said that the intruder is planning to murder him without any reason. He agreed that intruder would not lose anything of doing this crime, but he want to know that what's the gain he is going to get. Why he is going to kill Gerard? He wants to know. Intruder, I have got freedom to gain. As for myself, I am a poor hunted rat. As Vincent Charles Gerard, I am free to go places and do nothing. I can eat well and sleep and without having to be ready to beat it at the sight of a cop. To beat it means to leave immediately. So, this intruder said that he is going to get freedom. If he is killing Gerard, he can live as Vincent Charles Gerard. He can go to any place, he can do anything, he can eat well, he can sleep well without getting beat from the police. He can live in Gerard's house as Gerard, as Vincent Charles Gerard, without getting caught by the cop, by the police. So even though he is not losing anything, he is gaining this freedom to live free in this world as Gerard. This intruder said. Gerard. In most melodramas, the villain is foolish enough to delay his killing long enough to be frustrated. You are much luckier. Here Gerard is commenting that in many dramatic plays, the villain was shown to be a foolish person. The villain will be a foolish person. He would delay being killed and eventually got frustrated due to the delay. Then he would commit some foolish act and get trapped. But this intruder was luckier than such villains. Usually in melodramas or in dramas, many of the dramas, villains will be foolish people and they'll be pointing gun at the victim and will be conducting long speeches. Instead of killing that person in the next minute, they'll be conducting long speeches and will be making themselves a fool. Okay. Then intruder, I'm okay. I've got a reason for everything. I'm going to be Vincent Charles Gerard. See, I've got to know what he talks like. Now I know that posh stuff comes easy. This is Mr. V.C. Gerard speaking. pantomime of fawning, in imitation, cultured voice. And that's not all. He stands up. Get up a minute. Gerard stands. Now take a look at me. So this intruder replied that he's fine. Anyway, he's fine. He's okay. He was doing all this for a reason. He wanted to live by taking the identity of Vincent Charles Gerard, isn't it? So he wants to know how Gerard speaks. That's the only thing he doesn't know about Gerard. So he wants to know how Gerard speaks, and now he understood how Gerard speaks, and he's enacting the way or the tone of speech of Gerard, the style of speaking. He overheard Gerard while he is fawning, and at the same time he talked with Gerard till this. He is miming Gerard, and now he's performing the way how Gerard speaks. He says that posh stuff means upper class style. It's very easy for me. It comes very easily now. In that cultured voice, he speaking like Gerard. Then Gerard, you are not particularly decorative. Decorative means fine looking. You are not looking good or attractive. Gerard said. Intruder, no. Well, that goes for you too. I've only got to wear specs and I'll be enough like you to get away with. So this intruder said that no. Well, it goes for you too. You are also not looking that much attractive. But to look like you, I just have to wear specs and I'll be enough like you to get away with. So by wearing that specs, I'll be exactly like you. Gerard, what about your clothes? They'll let you down if you are not careful. So if your dressing is not like me, people will understand that you are not me. Intruder, that will be all right. Yours will fit me fine. So the intruder said that there's no problem with that because I'll wear your clothes. Gerard, that is extremely interesting, but you seem to miss the point of my remark. I said you were luckier than most melodramatic villains. It was not a tribute to your intelligence. You won't kill me for a very good reason. Tribute means gratitude, respect, or admiration for someone or something. So Gerard is reminding this intruder that he said one sentence. He said one thing to Gerard. To this intruder. What's that? You were luckier than most melodramatic villains. Usually villains will be doing some foolish acts in the end. But you are a bit lucky. This Gerard said. It is not a tribute to your intelligence. I didn't say that sentence just as a praise for your intelligence. I'm sure that you won't kill me, Gerard said. Okay, I am sure. That means Gerard is very much sure that this intruder won't kill him. So by hearing this intruder became a little surprised. Intruder, so that's what you think? Gerard, you let me go and thank God you didn't shoot sooner. And Gerard is saying that you won't shoot me and you will thank God for not killing me. Okay. Intruder, come on, what's on your mind? Better be quick, this conversation bores me. So this intruder is getting angry again and he is asking Gerard to say everything directly. This type of conversation makes me bored. So I don't like lengthy conversations. I don't like tricky sentences and all. So tell me everything directly. This intruder is getting angry. Gerard, your idea is to elude the police by killing me and taking on my identity. Elude means escape. So what's your idea? Gerard is asking to intruder to kill me and escape from the police by living like me, isn't it? By living in my identity. That's your idea, isn't it? Gerard asked to the intruder. Yes, I like the idea. So this intruder said that, yeah, that's my idea and I like it. That's the thing I planned. Gerard, but are you sure it's going to help you? So Gerard asked, are you sure that it's going to work out? Intruder, now listen here. I've got this all planned. I did a job in town. Things went wrong and I killed a cop. Since then, I have done nothing but dodge. Dodge means to avoid someone. That means to avoid the police. Okay, so this intruder is saying what happened. He planned everything to kill Gerard and to live in Gerard's house by taking Gerard's identity. And he's saying what happened in the past, why he planned all this, what's the reason. He did a job in town and things went wrong. So something happened. There happened some problems, and unfortunately, he killed a cop. He killed the police. And from then onwards, this police is following him, and this intruder is trying to escape from that police, from being caught. Okay, Gerard, and this is what dodging has brought you. So at last you reached here. As a part of this dodging, that means as a part of escaping from the police, you reached here. That's a question he asked it to the intruder. It brought me to Aylesbury. That's where I saw you in the car. Two other people saw you and started to talk. I listened. It looks like you're a bit kind of a mystery man. So I didn't come here directly, this intruder said. I saw you from somewhere else. It brought me to Aylesbury. From Aylesbury, I saw you. That's where I saw you in the car. Two other people saw you and started to talk. You talked with the two other people, and I listened to your talking. And I felt that there's some strangeness. You are a kind of strange man. You are a kind of mystery man. You are a strange person. That's why I thought to take your identity and to live as Gerard. Gerard, a mystery which I propose to explain. So that's the point. I am a mystery man. You said it. And that's the mystery. That's the thing I'm going to explain now. I am a mystery man. That mystery, that secret, I'm going to explain now. Intruder, disregarding him. You phone your orders and sometimes you go away suddenly and come back just the same. Those are just the things I want to do. Hearing about you was one of my luckiest breaks. So you won't be, this intruder said that I understood that you'll just make phone calls, you will order things and the things will be reaching your house. You won't be going out always. Sometimes suddenly you'll go out and come back the next minute. Hearing about you is the most luckiest thing. It is luckiest breaks happened in my life. Gerard, apparently you having the intelligence to ask why I am invested in this cloak of mystery. Cloak means robe or dress. So really you don't understand why I live like this. Why I have this mystery background, mystery dress, or why I have this kind of a character. You don't understand it. You didn't have that intelligence to ask why I live like this. Gerard said to the intruder. Intruder, preparing to shoot. As I said before, this conversation bores me. So intruder is saying Gerard to explain everything directly, and while Gerard is speaking like this, it is boring for him. He gets bored. Gerard, don't be a fool. If you shoot, you'll hang for sure. If not as yourself, then as Vincent Charles Gerard. Okay, so Gerard is saying to this intruder that don't be a fool. So Gerard is saying that if he shot at him, that means if he kills Gerard, it's sure that he'll be hanged to death. Even if you are taking the identity of Gerard, even if you are saying that you are Vincent Charles Gerard, it's sure that you are going to be dead. Okay, so this Vincent Charles Gerard is also being followed by the police or will be hanged to death at any time. Intruder, what is this? Intruder became surprised, really got shocked. Gerard, this is your big surprise. I said you won't kill me and I was right. Why do you think I am here today and gone tomorrow? Never see tradespeople? You say my habits would suit you. You are a crook. Do you think I am a Sunday school teacher? The game is up as far as I am concerned. Things went wrong with me. I said it with bullets and got away. Unfortunately, they caught one of my men and found things the fool should have burned. Tonight I'm expecting trouble. My bag is packed, ready to clear off. There it is. Now Gerard is explaining everything. This is your big surprise. I said it already that you won't kill me, and I was right. I'm sure that you won't kill me. Why do you think I'm here today and gone tomorrow? Do you think why I'm going tomorrow? Or that means I'm getting ready to go out? Do you know why I don't see any much people? You said that my habits are very much strange, and it will be suiting you very much, very apt for you. You are a crook. Do you think I'm a Sunday school teacher? Sunday school teacher means it's a phrase used to indicate honest people. Okay, so I'm not such a good person. The game is up as far as I'm concerned. Everything is going to over. I think things went wrong with me. I did something wrong. I said it with bullets. So I talked to a person with bullet. That means I killed a person and got away. Unfortunately, they got one of my men. So one of my men, one of the man in my group is being caught by the police and found things the fool should have burned. Tonight I'm expecting trouble. That means today or tonight I'm sure that I'll be caught by the police. That's why I'm trying to escape from here. You have seen that my bag is ready there. My bag is packed, ready to clear off. There it is. So really, Gerard is a person who has done a crime and the police is after him. That's how he explained himself to this intruder. Okay. Intruder. It's a bag, all right, and this is a gun, all right. What's all this? So he's looking around and saw a bag, a gun, and some artificial things like mustaches, wigs, props, and all. So Gerard is saying, that's a disguise outfit, false mustaches and whatnot. Now, do you believe me? Disguise means give a different appearance in order to hide from others. Hide one's identity. So when I'm trying to escape from here, I can't go in the same figure. So I thought to change my figure by wearing some mustache, wigs, props, and all. So that's why I took all these. Intruder musingly. I don't know. Really, he's thinking, and he didn't understand what's the real fact. Gerard, for God's sake, clear that muddled head of yours and let's go. Come with me in the car. I can use you. If you find it's a frame, you have got me in the car and you have still got your gun. So Gerard is saying, please clear your muddled head. Muddled head means confused mind. Okay. So this Gerard is requesting this intruder to believe his words and to come with him in the car. He also said that if you think that I am doing something against you, I am near you in the car and the gun is with you. You can believe me. Please believe me and come with me without wasting time. This Gerard said to the intruder. Intruder, maybe you're right, Gerard. Then don't waste time. Goes and picks up hat and bag. So they are getting ready to go from there to escape from there before the police reach. Intruder, careful, boss. I'm watching you. Not the usage, boss. That denotes that this intruder started believing Gerard. Gerard, I've got a man posted on the main road. He'll ring up if he sees the police. But I don't want to leave. Telephone bell rings. Come on, they are after us. Through here, straight to the garage. So, when Gerard says all these things, suddenly the phone started ringing up. He said that I've appointed a man at the main road, and if he sees the police coming here, he'll inform me. And suddenly the phone rings, and they are escaping from the intruder. How do I know that you are telling the truth? Still, the intruder is confused. Does he need to believe the words of Gerard or not? Gerard, oh, don't be a fool. Look for yourself. Gerard opens door and steps away. Intruder leans forward to inspect it with his side towards Gerard, but with the revolver ready. As he turns his head, Gerard gives him a push into the cupboard, knocking the revolver out of his hand. He slams the door and locks it, picks up the revolver and goes to the phone where he stands with the gun pointed at the cupboard door. Gerard said that he should not be foolish. Look for yourself. He asked him to see for himself. So you can look by saying that he opened the door to see, for this intruder to see out. He opened the door and stepped on out one side so that the intruder could see outside. This intruder leaned forward with the gun still pointing towards Gerard. As he turned his head, what Gerard did, Gerard pushed him into the cupboard and the gun fell off from this intruder. Okay, intruder was just trying to see what's there outside. Suddenly he pushed the intruder is being pushed into the cupboard and this gun in his hands has been fall down. As Gerard pushed the intruder inside the cupboard, he closed the door and locked it. Now this intruder is inside the cupboard. He picked up the revolver and walked towards the phone, the gun pointing towards the cupboard in case the intruder tried to escape. Now where's the intruder? Inside the cupboard. And where's Gerard? He is going near the phone. Intruder rattles door and shouts, "Let me out of here." He is rattling the door, knocking the door, and he's shouting out aloud from that cupboard. Gerard: "Hello, yes, speaking. Sorry, I can't let you have the props in time for rehearsal. I have had a spot of bother. Quite amusing. I think I'll put it in my next play. Listen, can you tell our friend, the surgeon, to come up here at once? You'll probably find him in the public bar." Props means things used by actors to change appearance. And what he says in the phone, "Hello, yes, speaking. Hello, yes, Gerard is speaking. Sorry, I can't let you have the props in time." What's the thing he says? Sorry, I can't bring you the props. Props means those mustache, wigs, all those things. So I can't bring all those props in time for the rehearsal because I had a problem here. Spot of bother means something that caused inconvenience, something that caused trouble to me. Okay, so I had some problems here, but it is quite amusing. Very much what surprising thing happened here. I think I will put it in my next play. I think that I will add this story or this incident in my next play, next drama. And he says one more thing. Listen, can you tell our friend, the sergeant, to come up here at once? Sergeant means policeman. He has a friend, a sergeant. So he is telling to that person who is there at the other end of the phone to call the police and say him to come to that house very quick. You'll probably find him in the public bar. This sergeant will be in the public bar. So please tell that sergeant to come to Gerard's house and to catch this intruder. Okay. So what's the content? What's the content of this drama? Gerard was a playwright. That means a person who writes dramas. He had to leave his house to give the props for a rehearsal. Props means the materials or the things used by the actors, like mustache, wigs, all those things. He was just going out. Suddenly what happened? An intruder entered his house. He was carrying a gun. He wanted to kill Gerard and live in Gerard's house by taking his identity. The intruder had committed a murder and is a wanted person, wanted by the police. So he thought of stealing Gerard's identity so that he can live very peacefully in Gerard's house. He wanted to know details about Gerard before killing him so that he could imitate him very well. Gerard said that he was a crook too, and if the intruder stole his identity, even then he would be chased by the police. So Gerard said that even if you are stealing my identity, or even if you are living in my house as Gerard, then also you will be caught by the police. and he made a story that he had killed someone and the police had evidence against him, and he was carrying false mustache and other props so that he could change his own identity and hide from the police. So by hearing all these stories said by Gerard, intruder believed him. Gerard fooled the intruder to believe him by saying that if the intruder felt that Gerard was lying, he could kill him. As the phone rang, Gerard said that it was time to leave. Suddenly, he asked him to peep. That means Gerard asked intruder to look out through the door of the garage and see the police by himself. It was not the door of the garage, it was the door of a cupboard. Okay, the door was just a cupboard, and the intruder bent forward to see what is there outside, but it was a cupboard and he was being caught inside the cupboard. It was a drama played by the Gerard. That story said by Gerard was just a drama to catch this intruder. Gerard pushed him inside the cupboard and locked it. Then he called the sergeant, the police, and as he would hand over the intruder to the police. So that's a drama. Please read the complete chapter. I'm giving the question answers as separate PDF. You should write that too. Okay. Thank you.